Guys, we are making some serious progress. So this is going to be the foundation for the Pacific bin. Guys, I wasn't kidding. We're making some serious progress here. Welcome back to another episode of the Pacific Bin. We have just finished out laying the foundation. We excavated out the whole lot, got it all set. And just yesterday I was out here laying all this out, finishing up all the foundation plates that the boxes will actually sit on. And yeah, I'm sort of gonna walk you through this little process, everything we had to consider for the foundation, and sort of take you along on this journey. So yeah, let's jump into it. So the first step in prepping for the foundation was to excavate off all of the loose, light dirt. We wanted to put the home's foundation and the footings and knee walls on like a solid surface, which we found when we dug down about 3.5 to 4 feet, that there was this really solid like clay type gravelly material, which is perfect for setting a home on. So we dug off the top like 3 to 4 feet of soils. We put them in that huge pile back there that we'll use to backfill around the foundation once it's all poured. And then we laid down this 3/4 inch rock that we were able to grade out, and we sort of then compacted it down and got it all set for the concrete guy to come in here. So once everything had been graded out and the rock had been laid and compacted down over the foundation area, we were able to pull some tape and just make sure that roughly the 3 boxes are gonna fit in here. So you can see the layout here behind me, and these 3 boxes are gonna make up the first floor of the Pacific Bin. So here, we'll go hop into the foundation. I'll show you guys the intricacies and how the boxes are actually gonna be attaching and what their overall plan is for the concrete. Okay, so how this is gonna work is that there's gonna be a footing, a 2 foot wide by 1 foot tall footing that runs along the entire perimeter of the home. So essentially off of this red line that makes up the perimeter, there'll be a 2 foot wide by 1 foot tall concrete block that runs the entire perimeter of the home. So there'll also be a couple more intermediate footings, like these ones that'll disperse the load of the upper containers. Like this footing, for example, is 2'6" by 4 foot. There's some bigger pads here. Here's a 4 foot by 4 foot footing, which there's 4 of these bigger 4 foot pads, because those will take all the loads from the 2 boxes sitting on top. So once the footings are all poured and they're all approved and signed off with the inspector, we're gonna be coming back with 4 foot knee walls sitting on top of these footings. So right, we have the 2 foot by 1 foot like block going around the perimeter and making up some of the intermediate stuff. But then we're gonna come back with an 8-inch wide wall that sits 4 feet tall. So the top of the wall is gonna be about at 5 feet. So I'm 6 feet tall, and it's gonna be right about here is where the top of the wall is gonna be. So that puts us anywhere from like 6 to 18 inches above ground level across this whole area. So we don't ever have to worry about like water washing into the side of the boxes or anything like that. We wanted to make sure we got just above grade. So for example here, this is one of the intermediate footing pads. So in the way that this is gonna work is, so I made up all these steel plates, got my first steel load in and got a welder and torches and everything and cut up these plates and got these galvanized bolts. So the way that this is gonna work is this is gonna be a 4 foot wide by 2'6" pad that's 1 foot tall. And these plates are gonna sit in the pad pretty much like this. They'll sit about 1 inch off the ground, and my concrete guy will set them into the footings, and I'll be welding tubes directly to these plates, and they will support the containers like in the middle where they're spanning this large open area. So that's how all the intermediate supports are gonna work. And just for the record, I didn't just paint these red to make it look cool for the video. This is actually an enamel primer, which makes it so that when I set these plates in the concrete, they're not gonna start to rust or decay over time. So I mean, it would take forever for these welds to break and for this thing to rot out, but I just want to make it a really, really solid home. So that's how the intermediate pads are going to work. Okay, so now that I've shown you guys how the intermediate support pads are going to work, I'll show you how the boxes are actually going to attach to the foundation. Right, so we have our footing pad and then our knee wall that's 4 feet tall. And on top of our knee wall, these plates that I made up with the bolts will sit into the concrete. So when they pour the concrete, they'll come in with these plates and set them in. And the way that these plates work is that because the little hex is at the bottom here, It makes it so when the concrete dries, there's no way they could ever pull these plates up without like completely busting the walls. So, and we'll have these plates on every corner of the 3 boxes, as well as a couple intermediate plates that go every 8 feet along the perimeter that I'll weld like the base of the long runs to. But I'll show you that when we get to that part in a couple weeks here. So I'm sure you guys have also seen all these yellow markings all across the foundation, and those are for access points where I'll actually have a hole running through the foundation where I'll either run, in this case it's power, but over there it's going to be water for the pump house, and over there it's going to be some exterior lighting. So I just want to give myself flexibility and have access through the foundation, like essentially where I need it. And it's easier to do it when the concrete's wet instead of when it's all dried and you have to actually drill a hole through. So I figured this would be the best way to do it. And the way I'm actually going to do it is in the 8-inch wall, I'm going to cut an 8-inch wide PVC pipe, and we're going to set the pipe down into the wet concrete so that when they pull the forms off, we just have a perfectly whatever diameter pipe I set down into the concrete, all set and ready to go, so we don't have to worry about drilling through the walls. Yeah, it just makes the whole process go a little bit quicker. Well guys, that's pretty much the process on how we got the foundation all prepped for concrete. So by the next time you see this, there'll probably be footings and walls, and it's gonna look completely different. Yeah, but if you guys wouldn't mind hitting the like button down below and subscribing, it really helps to get these videos out to more people. Yeah, these videos take a while to make, so I really appreciate it if you guys could do that. But either way, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.